Police brutality. Is the victim innocent? Not always. Does it matter that anyone guilty or innocent is bullied into submission? What happens when our police needs policing, or when our justice becomes unjust? Is justice in the balance? Ladies and gentlemen of the Recording Industry Association of America, I commend you. Your dedication to upholding justice is rivaled by few. But what happens if justice goes too far? As a member of the RIAA, only you can control what the RIAA does. Only you have the ability to help the oppressed members of society. As a member of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, our goal is equality for everyone. All people from the 13-year-old schoolgirl who wants the latest Hannah Montana CD to the 20-something college kid downloading 100 songs a day from Kazaa. The tactics currently being used by the RIAA are not fitting for the crime. In order for justice to truly be done, the tactics of the RIAA must be changed. In order to change the tactics of the RIAA, we must all know what the current tactics are, what is wrong with them, and what some alternative procedures could be. First, what's happening currently? The RIAA will watch a random file and sue whoever downloads it. There are two things wrong with this. Number one, the tactics to find the perpetrators are random and arbitrary. What's wrong with this? People who are stopped shouldn't be the first-time downloaders. They should rather be the ones who spend hours a day downloading, because it's very easy to make mistakes when you're stopping everybody. The quote from the ARS Technica: the RIAA has sued an innocent 13-year-old girl after dropping a suit against her mother, as well as a family who doesn't even own a computer. What should we do differently? Make the right decision. If RIAA must sue, target the people who download the most, not just first-timers. For instance, Jamie Thomas, we all heard of her recently, she only downloaded 24 songs. Check who makes the downloads available. Sue people whose share ratio is much greater than 1. The share ratio is the number of uploads over downloads. According to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998, the RIAA can sue for up to $150,000 per song in court. Criminal charges can be up to $500,000 or a 5-year sentence for first offenders, or up to $1 million or 10 years for repeat offenders. Downloading or distributing copyrighted content is illegal whether you are selling it or just trying to avoid paying for it. What's wrong with this? If downloading equals stealing, then stealing a little bit should equal petty theft. According to the California Penal Code, Section 488, petty theft is defined as any amount willfully taken without payment that is valued under $400, excluding livestock, produce, and real estate. Each song costs approximately $1 to buy, according to the iTunes Store and Amazon.com. So the total value of Jamie Thomas's 24 songs is about $24. In the California Penal Code, Section 490, any first-time offense where the stolen property is valued less than $50 is classified as a misdemeanor. The maximum punishment is $1,000 or up to 6 months in jail. According to the December 11, 2007 issue of the New York Times, Jamie Thomas was fined $222,000 for downloading 24 songs. This is $9,250 dollars per song fine, which is 222 times the maximum penalty for petty theft. What should we do differently? Don't use civil cases. Only use criminal cases. If you're concerned with downloading equals theft, then treat it the same. And this will decrease the number of cases because we need reasonable doubt. And it will give the perpetrators a criminal record and also push the thought even further that downloading equals theft. So we realize that we might be able to change a couple of things. But is it really a problem? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Yes, it is a problem. Recent media attention from the Jamie Thomas case has released a lot of anti-RIAA sentiment. Some websites, such as boycottriaa.com and riaaradar.com, encourage consumers not to buy albums labeled with RIAA labels. FreeJammy.com increases awareness about Jamie in her case and tries to raise legal costs or funding for legal costs. There is even an online petition at www.eff.org which vows to strongly oppose copyright enforcement that comes at the expense of privacy, the process, and fair application of the law. As of 11:55 p.m. on December 1st, 2007, there were over 97,000 signatures on this petition, which is just short of the 3,000 needed to send it to Congress. It's short of the 100,000. So the other thing is, it's not just the illegal downloaders who are against this. There are 182 Canadian artists at the Canadian Music Coalition, Weird Al Yankovic, who wrote his parody song, Don't Download This Song, and Radiohead, who released In Rainbows, completely independent and online, where you could pay whatever, even nothing. They sold 1.2 million albums at about $8 an album. Radiohead received a lot more money because he didn't have to pay fees to producers, advertisers, and the labels. So what are some good ways to stop piracy? A few ways. We want to eliminate illegal records, so we should attack the root of the problem, not just swing at the branches. As you can see, only 52% of college students in this poll were not dissuaded at all, so our current tactics are not effective. How do we make them effective? Here's one way. Treat as theft, not civil. You saw this chart before. People get mad at the RIAA. Why? Because they're using civil suits. The money goes to the RIAA, not the creators. Treating as a petty theft makes it a more fitting punishment for the crime. $1,000 is a lot more fitting than $1 million. A second way, target the people with the highest share. Don't make examples of first-timers. Find people with a share ratio greater than 1, and make content available. To make content available is worse than just downloading it, according to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998. If that doesn't work, find who downloads the most. If you can figure out that Jamie Thomas downloaded 24 songs, you can figure out who downloads thousands. A third way, instead of targeting the individual and individual privacy, try to target the P2P sites, peer-to-peer, that are transmitting these files. If they are shut down, how can these files be transmitted? According to the November 30, 2006 issue of the Financial Times, which you can see here, the co-founder of BitTorrent.com, Ashwin Navin, has stated that their website will power thousands of websites. These websites, according to the same Financial Times article, account for more than 40% of internet traffic and continue to offer pirated content. Why not? Shutting down sites, it's costly and it takes a long time. Not as much revenue for the RIAA, is it? A fourth way, and probably the best, lower the album prices. According to the EFF petition, the cost of the song was fair, then more people would be willing to pay for it. Mostly because there's only a little bit of revenue to artists. In a normal sale distribution, the artist only gets 8 to 9% of the funding. However, when Radiohead released their album, they did it independently. You get rid of the record company's involvement, they get almost 3/4 of the profit. The consumers have spoken. Give them what they want. In the end, we have to realize that change is inevitable. The citizens of these United States will not stand to be treated with such contempt as the RIAA is currently doing. What the RIAA is doing is just as wrong as the crime they are trying to prevent. Thousands have cried against this misdeed, as is evidenced by the sheer number of petitions, websites, and artists taking a stand against the RIAA. There are many ways that the RIAA can make their tactics more effective, as I have just outlined. Ladies and gentlemen of the RIAA, heed the plea of America. Stop this crime against humanity and the future of electronics. Only you have the power. Thank you.